Good morning. Welcome to the Wichita Police Department Interwatch, Thursday, May the 3rd. May the 3rd, Lieutenant Ojal is here today to talk about the two homicide cases from yesterday. But before we get to that, I have Elizabeth Brunshing with Kansas State Planning and Research, or...
It's a research and extension.
Yes, Research and Extension. She's here along with Officer Johnson to talk about a program that's been going on for 8 years, bonding with board games. And the Wichita Police Department has been involved in this since its inception back in 2010. So I'll hand it over to Elizabeth and Officer Johnson. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Yes, my name is Elizabeth Brunshing Cartagena, and I work for K-State Research and Extension. And we have a program that is called Bonding Through Board Games. And it's a research-based program for the university, and it is strengthening family relationship and in a fun way through board games. And this is under the human development. And if you know a little bit about the Maslow hierarchy of needs, the first tier is food, shelter, and clothing, and the next one is safety, and the other one is relationship and esteem, and so on is how we develop as human beings. So we are in the third tier, which is relationship. And so through board games, that's why we want to accomplish that. And we have been running this program since 2010, and we're going to have a mega event on May 19th from 9 in the morning to 6. And WPD has been involved since 2010, making that extra impact in the community. So I will let Officer Johnson to share a little bit about how WPD has been involved.
I'm Officer Brent Johnson. I'm a community policing officer for the north side of Wichita. And I've been involved with the Bonding Through Board Games for about 6 years now. For about 2 years, I've been coordinating the police volunteers who come to the different events, play games with kids, teach games to families and kids. And really, it's been a fantastic part of my job to come out and do these, to interact with the community in a positive way. Normally, we come out and we have to deal with the bad times in someone's life, but it's nice to interact with some of these kids and get to see them smiling and laughing as we play games. So it's really been a great thing for me to do, and I'm going to continue to do it as long as I can.
So I will invite everybody in the community, even Kansas or any state around us, to come and have that experience. And what we want is for you, the families, to come, experience, test some games, and take that idea at home. That's how we are going to be connected as a family. And if a family is connected, this whole city is going to be better, and the whole state and the whole nation. So that's the goal for this game. Thank you.
What are the dates again?
May 19th. We're going to start at 9 in the morning until it's 6.
Where?
So you can extension. 21st and Ridge. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate Elizabeth Brunshing. May 19th coming and talking about bonding with board games. I'll now hand it over to Lieutenant Ojal to talk about the two homicide cases from yesterday.
Good morning. We're going to start first with the homicide that occurred in the 1700 block of South El Pico. At approximately 11:48 hours yesterday morning, Wichita police officers dispatched to a shooting in the 1700 block of South El Pico. Upon arrival, they located a 30-year-old male with several gunshot wounds laying in the street. This male was pronounced on scene. As the officers were coming into the area, two Sedgwick County Sheriff deputies observed a suspicious male in the area of Harry and Oliver. They watched this male go into a Quick Trip. They then entered into the Quick Trip, saw the male, now wearing different clothing, exit the building. They were able to find his original clothing in one of the bathrooms of the Quick Trip. They then checked the video to make sure this was the same male that they observed earlier, which kind of matched a really general description from the shooting scene. They were able to guide officers in to the area. The WPD officers stopped the male in the 1500 block of South Oliver and took him into custody. During the investigation, we found that the victim, the 30-year-old male, ID'd as Bretodd, it's B-R-E-T-O-D-D, Williams, was walking in the 1700 block of South El Pico when the suspect approached him. and then fired several shots, striking and killing him. During the search of the area, the Sedgwick County K-9 was able to locate a weapon in the area, and that was later collected in as evidence. A 31-year-old male was booked in the Sedgwick County Adult Detention Facility for first-degree murder and weapons charges. We're asking anyone with any information on this case to call the homicide section at 268-4182 or Crime Stoppers at 267-2111.
Do we know how these two guys knew each other? Was there some sort of fight that happened? Do we know that?
We do not know how they knew each other. There was not a fight that occurred. Their contact was very minimal, just a few seconds before the shooting happened.
So did they know each other at all, or was this random?
As of this time, we do not know any relationship between the two.
Does the victim live in that area?
Yes, the victim only lived a couple blocks away.
Either of these people known gang members?
Both of them are documented. Anything else on that one? All right. We'll discuss the homicide at 204 North Sabin now. Shortly after 4 o'clock last night, officers were dispatched to a disturbance at 204 North Sabin. Upon arrival, they contacted 2 males at the residence. These males had stated that an unknown male had been over at that house on Sabin during the day. A disturbance broke out during the day, and they said that they had punched the male. Officers entered into the residence and found a 39-year-old male deceased inside of the residence with blunt force trauma injuries to his face. The 64-year-old male and 37-year-old male that were found at the residence were both brought up to the 6th floor, and early this morning they were booked into the Sedgwick County Jail for voluntary manslaughter charges pending the autopsy results. The 37-year-old male was also booked for drug charges and possession of stolen property charges. Again, we're asking anyone with any information on this case to contact the homicide section at 268-4182 or Crime Stoppers at 267-2111.
Do you know what the disturbance is about?
At this time, no, not really.
Didn't know this one person that was there. Is he the one, the unknown man? Is he the one that was dead?
Yes.
Any idea how long he had been there before the disturbance?
We believe he was probably there most of the day.
Is drug or alcohol?
We're still looking into that.
So was that guy that went into that home, was he friends of the 2 males living in that residence, or was this kind of a random guy?
They both stated they did not know the individual, but they allowed him into the residence and allowed him to stay inside there during the day.
Has the person been identified yet? The victim?
Yeah, we'll release his name later this afternoon once we make sure all notifications are made.
Can you please repeat the ages of the 2 men arrested?
One is 64 years old, one is 37.
They both live there?
It is the 37-year-old's residence. The 64-year-old stays there at times. He also has a second residence or another residence.
Do you have case numbers for both?
Charlie can give them to you.
And you said the 37-year-old was also arrested on drug and stolen property charges?
Yes. All right. Thank you.
All right, appreciate Lieutenant Giles. Give us an update on, that would be the 17th and 18th homicide of 2018. Case number on El Pico is 18C 27786, 27786. And the case number on the homicide in the 200 block of North Sabin, 18C 27844, 27844. You know, we continue to see nationwide guns being used to resolve disputes. Currently, the Wichita Police Department is partnering with the U.S. Attorney on Project Safe Neighborhood in an effort to obtain additional federal resources to address this increase in guns being used to resolve disputes. Project Safe Neighborhood is a nationwide commitment to reduce gun crime in America by networking existing local programs that target gun crime and providing those programs with additional tools to fit the specific gun crime problems in each area. The goal is to create safer neighborhoods by reducing gun violence and sustaining that reduction.
Any information on how specifically officers would be involved, like the role of officers?
Not at this time. This is something that we are currently involved in. It's still in the beginning stages, but we are partnering with the U.S. Attorney in Project Safe Neighborhood, so we can give more information on that once we get to that point. But this is something that we are currently involved in to obtain those additional federal resources to help address this increase that we're seeing nationwide as far as guns being used to resolve disputes. And again, our goal to create a safer neighborhood by reducing gun violence and also sustaining that reduction.
Do you know what the programs are? You mentioned to assist local programs. Do you know what those are?
I don't. You can, if you look at the U.S. Attorney General's website, you might be able to get more information on that. Yeah.
Any idea what kind of resources this program would give the police department?
It would just, again, we're still in the very early stages, but resources such as task forces, things like that, additional maybe equipment, things of that nature, maybe funds to help purchase equipment, just different things of that nature to help us be able to provide adequate safety services to help, again, reduce and sustain the reduction in gun violence.
Do you know if the staffing of the Wichita Police Department has any relation to the amount of gun crimes in the city? Like, are there staffing shortages with Wichita Police?
I guess I don't understand your question.
Are there enough officers on the streets, do you think, or is the police department trying to get more officers?
Well, I think, yeah, you know, I mean, we have the Violent Crimes Task Force that we implemented, was it last summer, a year ago, as a trial basis, and now it's something that we utilize on a full-time basis, and they are, do a very good job, work very hard in helping us with violent crimes. So no, I don't think it would be any type of resource, but we are currently partnering with the U.S. Attorney, looking at additional federal resources to help us continue to provide adequate safety services and reduce gun crimes and sustain that reduction as well. Anything else? All right, appreciate Elizabeth Brunsheen being here today. Bonding with Board Games, May the 19th at the Sedgwick County Extension Center. Wichita Police Department actively involved with that program. I know when my kids and my wife get together for board games, it gets very competitive. And we play Beat the Parents, and sometimes they win. But so great opportunity to bond through these board games with the Wichita Police Department, others, your family. So May the 19th, Sedgwick County Extension Center. Make sure you check that out. Any other questions, anything today? Appreciate everybody being here on Thursday. We'll be back tomorrow. Be safe.